G'day, Andrew Murray here from The Apartment Specialist. Welcome to our channel. Today we've got John here from the team.
Hello again.
Cool. Today we're talking about a question we get asked a lot. When is the best time to sell an apartment? What do you reckon, John?
It's a tricky one. It really is a tricky one.
Yeah.
So there are dynamics in play that make that question almost impossible to give just a straight answer. If you look at, for example, the selling of a house, you've got a massive part of the selling proposition which is outside of the house, the exterior, the garden, which brings seasonal factors into the mix. With apartments, the majority of the selling proposition, 80% of the time, is inside. You know, so it's not as affected by seasonal changes, the weather, etc., etc. There are, however, definitely times that you wouldn't want to try and sell.
100%.
Yeah, and that's usually coming into the end of the year. You know,
December.
people change their priorities, silly season. I mean, you would have experienced that firsthand.
Just us. That's when we have a Christmas party. How many Christmas parties at that time? Buyers, honestly, I see them turning off in December and go, "Oh, we'll get one next year." They seem to turn off. So I think that December that's the time not to sell. Now, what about the other 11 months? We look at the data. What the data tells us?
Yeah, I mean, we've looked back 5 years and sort of tracked. Okay, what's the difference between sales output in winter compared to summer? And it's marginal. You know, there's no distinct definer that would tell you, hey, look, this is definitely a better month to sell. I think what's the most important is to make sure that the time frames suit your specific needs as a seller. The last thing you want to be doing is trying to rush into something and limiting your net of influence. You know, so I think that's probably the most important thing.
I think when you rush yourself, you get into a situation where you might go, okay, I have to achieve a sale by this certain date. And if let's say you've got 4 weeks and you haven't found that buyer by the time you've got that last week. Well, what are you going to do? Your only option is to accept an offer that's lower than you want. And you just can't put yourself in that situation. So you've got to allow yourself to go, okay, instead of going, I want to sell this in a month or whatever, allow yourself 3 months if you can. I know it's easier said than done, but that gives you a lot of time. It also gives you a moment to fire your agent. I mean, how much business do we get because of another campaign failed? I mean, generally it's a housing agent because, you know, that's all we do, but we'll get it. And it gives you time to not go, I have to, you know, take that offer.
Yeah, but plan ahead, focus on your goals more than what's happening in the market, what are the media saying, you know, because if you were to put your ears to the ground and sell purely based on the information that's circulating, you would sit there your entire life and probably never sell because there would never be a right time, you know. So focus on yourself, don't rush. And remember with apartments, as long as you avoid the silly season, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah, good point. I know we didn't answer the question specifically. It's because there isn't really an answer. Just avoid that December time. Anyway, hope that helps. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.